What is good, my beautiful people? Hope you have a good day today. Today we're going to bring something a little different. Today we're going to be prepping just a little bit. And the reason why I say a little bit is I'm not going to prep for, a whole week. I'm going to prep for probably 2-3 days. So what we're going to do, we're going to batch cook potatoes, we're going to batch cook chicken, and we're going to put a little bit of spinach into the chicken as well too, to, add in some veggies. Most importantly, I just want to show you what batch cooking is and show you how it can help you make your life easier, the day-to-day easier, right? So let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the potatoes. I'm most likely going, not most likely, I am going to wash them. So let me just take this bowl. And the reason I just want to wash them is just to get all that excess dirt out. But the reason why I like to batch cook carbs, and not just potatoes, but remember when I made the rice and I just kept it all in just the pot, like the leftovers? This is sort of like the same thing. But the only thing is, with the rice, it's just plain rice. But with this, it's potatoes, and I'm going to add some seasoning on top of it. And what I'm going to be able to do with these potatoes is reuse them next few days. So therefore, I don't have to consistently say, hey, what's for lunch? What's for dinner? I already know what's for lunch, what's for dinner because I already batch cook certain ingredients. And sometimes when I batch cook rice, potatoes, 3 different carbs, 3 different proteins, 3 different, let's say, veggies, I'm able to just mix and match throughout the week, right? I'm able to just swap my carbs. I'm able to just swap my protein. I'm able to just swap my vegetables. And yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is just cut up the potatoes. And the reason why I like to cut them into like thin slices is one, they cook up faster. And for me, I like them to be nice and crunchy. When did we start getting these purple potatoes? I'm just cautious, man. Looks more like an eggplant. Seriously though. But either way, we're going to cut these up. We're going to put them in the oven. Actually, that reminds me. Let's put this on. We're going to put it at 420. We're going to click start. Boom. And now we're just going to get that warmed up. So by the time we're, done slicing these up, all we got to do is, spray that tray, pop some seasoning on top of the potatoes. And from there on, we are good to go. I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit for you guys. But as I do this, I'm also going to be talking about one more thing. So today, I was checking a comment, right? And this guy basically says, I haven't eaten breakfast since 2018, blah, 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 this and that. I'm unsubscribing. And for me, cool, you unsubscribe. That's all right. At the end of the day, you have the ability to make your own judgments. It's a free world, free country. But the biggest thing is, it's like, just because you fast doesn't mean what I put out in these videos can't be applicable to you. Because the biggest thing with fasting is, for me specifically, I see it as a tool, not something to do every day. Because if I fast every day, I will have no energy. If I fast every day, I will be tired. If I fast every day, cravings are a lot, they happen a lot more. If I fast every day, I could put my body in a position to where I'm missing key ingredients. And that's why sometimes when I've had clients who told me, oh yeah, all I do is fast, I tell them to get their blood work and they come out, iron is low, come out, magnesium is nowhere to be found. And I'm like, you should probably stop fasting and start eating a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying fasting is bad. No, I'm not saying that. It works for certain people, and certain people could do it for a longer period of time than others. And sometimes it's just a matter of willpower. But to say, oh, I'm fasting, this and that, and I'm subscribing, to me, I was like, what? What are you trying to say? Like, are you trying to say, like, what eating is bad overall? And where did you get that message, right? Because for me, I'm a type of person where I want to understand where you're coming from. Even though he hasn't responded yet, but hopefully he does by the time, I finish this video and edit it. But I want to understand where he's coming from because I don't see fasting any beneficial to building muscle. And I know I see videos of like Mike Rashid saying, oh, fasting this, I eat 1 meal a day and I'm jacked. I kind of think that's bullshit because I believe that almost 90% of those guys are on TRT, some type of testosterone therapy. That's in my opinion. And then just to, let's say, fast every day and be able to just grow muscle, it's very difficult. Because you have to understand that to build muscle, you need nutrients. To build muscle, you need protein. To build muscle, you need food. And that's just going to come out of nowhere, right? So it's either A, you're eating one big meal that sums up to the amount of calories you need to have for the entire day, or you're lacking nutrients and you're at a deficit every single day. And if you're in deficit every single day, your weight loss, cool. But if not your weight, if your goal is weight loss, cool. But if your goal is not weight loss, and to me, your goal is to build muscle, I would suggest changing it up. Again, that's my opinion. Because here's the thing, I used to be heavy, especially when I was young. I was heavy. Fasting never worked, bro. Even when it came to fucking weight loss, I just couldn't do it. And you could say, oh, you just didn't have the willpower. Possibly. Maybe you're right. But also, I just couldn't do it because it just opened up too many opportunities to crave, too many opportunities to not be my best self. Hence the energy, not being able to push, certain weight. I'm not saying weight is very important in the gym, but I still want to feel strong. I don't want to feel weak. And for me, one thing I found is after I eat a really good solid meal, especially for gym purposes, for performance purposes, after I've eaten 2 good solid meals, I do my best. I perform my best. Most importantly, I'm able to do more. And to me, that's beneficial. So, again, my opinion, you can think something different. If you think fasting is, your bread and butter, cool. And one thing I always say, it's like, cool, if fasting is your bread and butter, let me look at your physique. Because your physique will speak to your routine. But we're going to finish this up. We only got a few more to go. Hopefully I don't cut up my finger. Nah, fuck with y'all, man. It's never happened to me, and I hope it never happens to me. Seriously. It's like, who would want to lose a finger? But, you guys agree, though? Let me know in the comments. Do you agree that, one, when it comes to food, it's what works best for you? And for 2, you've tried fasting before. Let me know your experience. Do you agree that it's something that should be used as a tool, not something that should be used, permanently? And we're going to spray paint. What I mean by permanently, it's like you shouldn't be fasting every day of your life. But let's say if you're preparing for a bodybuilding show, which we do kind of fast, you're preparing for, an event, and fast. But in terms of healthy, I think breakfast, lunch, and dinner will always win. And calories in, calories out will always win as well, too. But again, my opinions. All right, let's get into it. And here's the thing, too. It is my opinions, but it's also because I've seen changes. I've seen results. I've helped people from, I'll give you a perfect example, and I always talk about her a lot. Nicole, when she first met me, she wanted to fast and do all these things. I told her no. She was 487 pounds, and I told her not to fast. Because here's the thing, she was already fasting. Her routine was skipping breakfast and lunch, and then from there on in the afternoon, that's when she would eat everything. You're already kind of fasting. You just didn't really necessarily know about it, right? So we changed up the routine. We added in breakfast. It gave her a lot more energy for the day, supported her metabolism, supported her system, which therefore gave her energy going into lunch. After eating lunch, felt great, especially after getting a workout in the morning. And over time, it became her life. It became her lifestyle. And now she's walking around at 295 pounds. That, to me, is proof that fasting long-term doesn't work. But breakfast, lunch, and dinner does. I have other clients, too, where they've come to me like, yeah, I'm fasting for weight loss. And I cut that shit out, bro. Cut that shit out. Because we're here to lose weight, get stronger, build muscle. I just be flabby. Whoa, I almost cut the white wine. I wish I had a little bit of... Nah, I don't want to use that. A little bit more of olive oil. We're just going to put a little bit of olive oil, just on top of it. Just so... Actually, I'll do olive oil because I don't have butter. I ran out of butter. Just a little bit. And I know this is easily adding more calories to it, but with batch cooking, this is just a batch of potatoes, and this is not just, for one day. It's for 2 to 3 days. And to be honest with you, most likely 2, just because swimming around, it's for me and my girl, and yeah, beautiful. She usually just eats what I eat, We're gonna season it up. We're gonna add some red crushed peppers, just a little bit. A little bit of salt. Bang. And now we do it again. Beautiful. Just gonna spread it. Make sure it's nice and even out. Make sure it's flat. It's at 375. The goal is 420. We'll put it in right now. Oh, I didn't mean to keep that in. This is about to be hot as hell. Right. Beautiful. And we slide her in. All right. While I do that, we're gonna prep the chicken. And a few things I like to do with the chicken. 1 second. Beautiful. Now, one thing that I like to do with the chicken, it's cut it into pieces. And the reason why I like to cut into pieces, it makes it easier to cook. So for prepping, as well as it makes it easier to track. Usually when it comes to the chicken, I would say just do it raw. And the thing is, when doing it raw, the label tells you how much it is. So you don't necessarily have to just go and count it out. Just, take what the label says, put it in your macro, and then from there on, cut it up, and that's the amount of chicken you have in your entire thing, right? So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna slice them up, and again, slice them up into smaller pieces to make them cook faster. Here's the chicken tenders. I like to cut the fat at the back as well too. Not the fat, but like the little tendon. There we go. Snap that bad boy off there. And get you off my tenders. 'Cause I don't like chewing on that thing, man. There we go. Beautiful. And then just slide it off there. All right, now that my chicken is nice and cut up, we're gonna turn on this rear. We're gonna spray that bad boy up. Should get all around there. 3, 2, 1. Good. Running out. Excuse me, got the hiccups. We're gonna season it up. I know, that's a lot. Yeah. Add some onion powder. Remember, we're gonna mix it all together. And then from there on, mix it all together. Beautiful. Wait until that bad boy gets hot, and then when it gets hot, we put this not on top, but we put it in, and then while this is like, sizzling, it's doing its thing, we're gonna add some spinach on top, and then from there on, mix it all together. Leave it on there for about like 5 minutes on each side, and I usually like to flip it over just one by one, which I'll just skip through that. But yeah, we'll do 5 minutes on one, 5 minutes on the other, and from there on, leave it on there for another 2, and then I'll add the spinach towards the end once chicken is completely done. Because if you add the spinach in the beginning, your spinach is gonna end up being burnt, and it's gonna be at the bottom of your stove, dark as hell. All right, let's add her in. Let's go. Beautiful. All that bitch in there, man. Fuck that. All right. All right, we're gonna press this down. The reason I like to press it down so I can separate the chicken pieces from each other. I don't like them sticking. There we go. Let that do its thing. Now, you know what I like to do? Spray the top just a little bit. Beautiful. Okay. Now while that gets done, potatoes are doing their thing. And once the potatoes are in for about like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm gonna shake them up, rotate them, make sure the ones at the bottom come to the top and the ones at the top go to the bottom. Same thing with the chicken. Right now all I'm gonna do is just wash this up a little bit and I'll see you in just a bit. All right, now we're gonna take a handful of spinach, wash it up. Beautiful. Now on top of that bad boy, as our chicken finishes, we're gonna put a little bit of soy sauce. Beautiful. I'm gonna put this away. And by the time I come back, that spinach should be already ready. Just be mixed in like it was already part of it. Yep, beautiful. Because spinach, you don't need to cook that long, man. Like a few seconds. It's just a leaf. It just needs heat and it's ready to go. I'm just gonna leave that there just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. We're gonna lower it to medium. Now here's the beauty of batch cooking and why some of my clients actually prefer this than meal prepping and even macro tracking. The reason why I say macro tracking is because once you have a batch of chicken, this is what I can do with it. I have 4 containers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate this chicken evenly amongst all 4. So this is gonna be 1. And you wanna make sure each of them has a healthy amount of chicken. Sorry, camera died. This is going to be 2. And then this is going to be 3. Boom. Then we can turn this off. And again, you don't necessarily have to prep. I mean, not prep. You don't necessarily have to track it. Now I just know I have, let's say, a pound of chicken amongst 4 meals. And that pound of chicken could be anywhere from 40 to 50 grams of protein, probably a little bit more. And just separate it evenly amongst all those meals. That's how you can make it easy, simple. And now that's done. Now all I have to do is just wait for the potatoes. Probably gonna overload the potatoes a little bit because again, I am bulking, so I'm gonna be a little bit heavier on the carb side. So I'm gonna probably put I'm gonna try to fit all the potatoes amongst here, but if I can't, I'll have some leftovers that I can just put in the fridge and now I have carbs for breakfast. Instead of hash browns, which I do have, I can just eat potatoes, which are a better carb source, especially if, I want to have a better healthy breakfast instead of hash browns. But yeah, I'm going to put this in the sink and then I'll catch you guys once the potatoes are ready. Now that my potatoes are ready, and you can tell when they're ready, when they're not hollow on the inside. What I mean by that, it's when you're making potatoes, you can see once it's cooked versus the uncooked. And the uncooked is usually the middle piece. And the cooked is usually the first outside piece, right? These are all ready. Let's go. Turn off the oven. There we go. Thank you. And now, let's do this. I'm going to separate this as evenly as we can. Boom, that's one. And here's the thing, guys. With batch cooking, kind of takes away the headache of, oh, I have to prep. This has to be perfect. And the reason why I always start my clients off with this is I just want you to learn how to eat healthier. Just want you to know how to prep your own food. Just want you to know how to understand what to look at in terms of food. You know, because if you're worried about all the little macros and numbers and details right off the bat, you're not giving yourself the chance to grow into this, because you will understand those numbers better once you understand the basics of just food itself. Simple. And you're going to be like, yo, is that burnt? No, that's literally the potato I was cutting earlier. That's the color of it. That's going to be an interesting one because I've never really cooked those before. And let's see how they taste. We'll see. And boom. And we actually could put the rest in here. Nothing crazy. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, I have, today is what? Saturday. I have lunch for Sunday, lunch for Monday, lunch for Tuesday, lunch for Wednesday, if I wanted to. Or lunch for tomorrow, dinner for tomorrow. Lunch for Monday, dinner for Monday. It's as simple as that. And these aren't, extremely crazy. I'm going to try to bring, I'll just bring 3. And these aren't extremely crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Easy. Remember, you want it to be easy and simple. I was just trying to get in frame. But now, go 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, fam. Boom. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. Shit's dirty now. Alright, we can wipe it with everything else now. But that's it, fam. That's batch cooking. That's how it can make life easier. That's how it can make meal prepping easier. And yeah, man, the biggest thing is I just want to show you guys more simple ways to, make eating fun. Most importantly, to make it simple. Make it simple, get to the point, eat healthier, and just start your days off strong. Next time I'm going to be on here, I'm going to do something a little different. I might go to the burrito or the taco route. Let me know what you guys would love in the comment section. And just show you guys how you can make some tacos, burritos, quesadillas on the go, because those are very easy to make. Most importantly, you can control the protein and the amount of carbs that you actually have in those to make it healthy as possible. And I'll show you that entire process. But with that being said, we have a great day. Stay beautiful, stay blessed. Peace.